July 5th, 2017, the biggest arrest in the history of dark web took place. This guy, known only by the name Alpha02 at that time, had been wanted by the authorities for more than 2 years for selling millions of stolen credit card data and for offering money laundering services. His creation was the Amazon of the dark web.
This is the largest dark market web place takedown in world history.
But after years of being the king of the dark web, Alpha02 made one tiny mistake that led him to the final hours before he got caught.
Today, the Department of Justice announces the takedown of the dark web market Alpha Bay.
Who is the king of the dark web? What was the tiny mistake that led to his arrest? How rich did he get? And what surprising thing did he do after? These are the final hours of the biggest darknet market in the world, Alpha Bay, which was developed by Alpha02 in July 2014 and launched officially 5 months later, December 22nd. Around this time, the authorities from all around the world have been continuously tracking darknet markets, successfully shutting all of them down. But somehow Alpha02 was so skilled and so careful, he became untouchable. For years, no one was able to track him down.
While other marketplaces popped up and disappeared, Alpha Bay remained strong.
Alpha Bay was just like any other online store, only everything there was illegal. At first, it only offered stolen credit card data, but it would soon offer more dangerous products, drugs, weapons, malware, and even money laundering services.
Alpha02's kind of like big idea was to combine the dark web sphere of credit card fraud and drug into one massive market.
It didn't take long for Alpha02 to make Alpha Bay the biggest darknet market in the world.
Alpha Bay established itself as the most successful dark web market of all time.
Alpha Bay is the largest darknet market in the world,
Transacting like millions of dollars a day.
After only a year, it managed to have over 200,000 users and 40,000 sellers. And of course, every transaction made Alpha02 richer. Quickly, he became a multi-millionaire, to the point that he retired from his day-to-day operations and let his team handle the transactions. At this point, authorities haven't stopped looking for him, despite having no clues where in the world Alpha02 was. Until December 2016. This is where this story gets really interesting. An official of the US Enforcement Administration got an email from an anonymous sender about that tiny mistake I told you earlier. See, back in the day when Alpha Bay started, every user who registered on the website received a welcome message straight from the email address of the true sender. This one message changed everything. They got Alpha02's real email address. Now, with this one email address, they found Lee, including its owner's photos posted on this French social media platform in 2008. His name was Alex. From this point on, they started to connect the dots. They figured Alex was 17 years old by that time, and that the number 91 on the email address was his birth year. That means he was 23 when he started Alpha Bay. They also found Alex's old dating profile with a location in Canada. Then they found a website that had an article dated back to June 3rd, 2008, where Alpha02 posted this. At the bottom of his post shows the same email address and another breakthrough for the DIA, his full name, Alexandre Seizes. From there they found his PayPal account, LinkedIn, and the Facebook profile of his then fiancée, who was a Thai woman. Finally, they have located the king of the dark web, who had been living in Bangkok for 2 years. Now, the second challenge was to reach him in his highly guarded mansion, making sure that his computer would be logged in and open for them to take over the whole operation. Thai authorities cooperated with the US drug law enforcers. They followed him, tracked his phone, investigated his many properties until July 5th. Here's how they did the impossible. When the Operation Bayonet took place, a Thai officer pretended to have accidentally crushed the gate of Alex's house to get his attention. After the loud crash, Alex stood screwed up, got away from his logged-in computer to check what happened outside. The moment he opened the door, officers ran after him. He tried running back inside, probably to shut his computer down, but it was too late for him. With seconds left, the officers stormed the house, ran upstairs, and they found his laptop logged in. Alpha 02 was still logged into the server hosting Alpha Bay, and that means finally the biggest mission was over. But as more investigations were still going on July 12th, only a week after Alexis' arrest, the authorities reported he took his own life in prison. And on July 20th, they made the big announcement, making the largest crackdown on a dark web-run business in the history of the world.
Today, the Department of Justice announces the takedown of the dark web market Alpha Bay. This is the largest dark market web place takedown in world history.